in our era, we are so technologically oriented, particularly in the West, and we have all of these toys, these technological toys to play with. The cameras we're using here, the equipment that brings this program to our listeners and viewers, film and television and radio, and now the video cassettes, and there's a wonderful democratic process at work in video. Sure. Because it's becoming very cheap and very accessible. Mm-hmm. But speaking as an individual who has for years enjoyed and participated in almost every kind of form of this, nothing is as powerful and as moving and as funny and as entertaining as the momentary performance, the instantaneous, gone forever moment that takes place in the stage. And yet it seems to be a branch of the entertainment industry or community or whatever that is drawing fewer people.
Yes.
Why do you think? Because those that go, more often than not, come away having seen something that they really enjoyed and perhaps really moved them. I don't think it's bad theater that's driving people away. There's some of it, but proportionately there's a lot of good out there.
Yes, we've talked about this at great length. I'm sure a lot of theaters have, and I believe we lose to television. Mm-hmm. We lose to a form of passive entertainment where you can sit back in television and say, okay, go ahead, instrument, entertain me. Mm-hmm. If I don't like it, I can always switch the channel. Mm-hmm. And we lose to games, basketball. Mm-hmm. And would rather stay at home and, you know, either go for the match or stay at home and watch it on TV. And we've also discussed the fact that maybe audiences need to acquire a taste for the theater. It's amply demonstrated in Europe, mm-hmm. where they have actually acquired a taste for ballet, for mm-hmm. opera, for the theater. And we've asked ourselves whether $6 is too much. We don't think it is, mm-hmm. and we need to...
a film is $5.
A film is $5.
Yeah.
And what is it that actually keeps them away? Is there something wrong with our publicity?
If it were just your theater, maybe it would be your publicity, but is it not theater as an art form that is drawing fewer people? Or at least, obviously, it's drawing a small percentage
yes.
of those that look at the forms of theater, television and movies and video. Those are all forms of theater, but they're not the stage.
No, it's not the stage.
Do you think it may have to do with the fact that people have become more isolated from one another, that we are a society that sort of goes in its box on wheels, to its box at home, to its box where it works, and we seem to be striving to avoid contact with other people?
If question, have we become isolated, or do we want to be isolated?
That's a good question.
If we want to be isolated, but we meet each other in bars and downtown and in restaurants, mm-hmm. and we do communicate, and there is the communion in art galleries. And why is it that they don't come and sit an hour and 45 minutes in a theater, and those who do come go away mm-hmm. satisfied with what they have seen, mm-hmm. and make very burdened promises that they'll be back? Mm-hmm. And the question is to reach out to them. It's an absolute grind, mm-hmm. trying to get audiences. Let me just speak for the Buckham. We try every trick in the book mm-hmm. to try and publicize the thing, go out, and for After the Rain, we actually on Thursdays we had this must be some idiosyncrasy downtown. Nobody wants to come downtown on a Thursday, and maybe they
it's
just
good television on Thursday or something.
No, Michael, I think maybe so. I've never looked at maybe the thinking is, let's hold on till Friday and go downtown and make an evening of it.
Yeah. And
so we guys go out and say, okay, how about having a 2-for-1? And mm-hmm. Go and talk to people who we think But if you find a person who can afford it, we don't go to him, but otherwise go to a person, say a student or somebody else like this, and our judgment, a deserving person, and say, here's a voucher, 2 for 1, come and see the show on a Thursday. And maybe we should go to the other institutions. We should go and bring in people from the blind school and bring them in early, and we've thought of doing that, bring them early, introduce them to the set, say at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, introduce them to the set, talk to them about the set, the actors talk to them, and then let them sit there and listen to the play.
It's a nice idea.
And we need to propagate these things. We need to reach out and not touch. Am I saying something that yeah.
Have you ever taken actors out to do scenes in the community?
Michael, that is something that must be done.
Yeah.
It is, we need to do that really.
Yeah.
If we find this not happening, take like the Michigan Shakespeare Festival. I mean, it's come out of the university auditorium and it started moving around. I remember playing Shakespeare 2 years ago, and As You Like It, Chris Coddington's production of it. And I mean, we traveled around. I mean, and we were taking Shakespeare and playing Shakespeare under a tent at Crossroads Village. And what better setting for Shakespeare? And sure, highly appreciated. You're taking theatre out to the people, and you're about doing what television is doing. Into the living rooms, can't do that, but certainly,
yeah,
most certainly.